Happy Monday. Happy beginning of the week. Happy Christmas week. Hey, Ms.Blipper.
Hey, Eric.
How are you?
Yogi. I'm amazing. How are you?
Well, I'm good. I don't know if I'm amazing. I don't know if I've crossed that threshold from good to amazing. How do I do
Mm,
it? What do I need to get to that part?
Well, we're going to go with the Holy Spirit today, and we'll start with our little handy dandy prayer from A Course in Miracles. I think it's chapter 15. You ready?
Yep.
I give you to the Holy Spirit as part of myself. I know that you will be released unless I want to use you to imprison myself. I don't want to use you to imprison myself.
I appreciate that.
Uh, yeah. In the name of my freedom, hmm, I choose your release. Go for it, baby. Because I recognize that we will be released together.
Beautiful. It's an awesome way to start a live stream, too. Thank you.
Yay.
Chapter 15 deals a lot with Christmas, doesn't it?
Yep, I read the whole. Well, did I read it all? I did. I read it all. And it's a pretty hardcore chapter, I must say.
I just brought it up. Maybe you and I can go through it, maybe unpack some stuff.
Sure. I mean, we can just start unpacking the prayer. I just probably flew over, flew by everybody. I don't know. Anyway, all I want to give you for Christmas is a holy instant. There you go.
But thank you. I was hoping for my two front teeth.
Oh,
Um, let's see. The holy instant and the attraction of God. I like Christmas as the end of sacrifice.
hello, Anna. I'm just saying hi to people who are saying hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, Tiger King. And Waza Matau and all everybody who there. Lady Sky said hi too. Ms.Blipper. No, that is not my real name. Sorry. It is a little bit made up. It's ancient. Somebody asked, you're the second person to ask me that today about the name Ms.Blipper. It comes from some site that was on the internet about listening to music, and if you like certain songs you blip them. That's the word that they used. And so, because I was always like checking off songs I like. There you go. That's how that name came along.
Nice. We got pretty good. Hey, Lady Scott, pretty good group of people here hanging out.
Yay! Hello,
Miss
everybody.
Miss Blipper only attracts the best. Um, you know what? I like the name of the ending of chapter 15. Christmas as the end of sacrifice.
Yep.
What a beautiful way to think of Christmas.
Right. It is totally a beautiful way to think of Christmas. Um, but it's like there's a step in between, which is to recognize, I guess, that we have misassociated sacrifice with love. We've tied up love with sacrifice, like almost made them synonymous, and they're not. Sacrifice is not. Uh, it's not about losing.
Right. Um, they mentioned that right at the beginning that seek not safety by attempting to protect yourself from where it is not. Your brother and your father become fearful to you, uh, and you would bargain with them for a few special relationships in which you think you see some scraps of safety.
Hmm.
Um, you know, fear plays a big part in A Course in Miracles.
Fear. Is that
Yeah.
the word you just said?
Yep.
Fear. Yeah, and it says that in this chapter. Somewhere in this chapter, it's like, you know, I'm paraphrasing here, but it'll dawn on you that everything that is not love, is fear.
And every little confrontation, from arguing over a parking space at a mall parking lot at Christmas time, to internet debates, to chat arguments, to all of it is based on fear. If you weren't afraid of your brother or sister
Right. Or love,
or
or
love,
God, or
right?
being powerless, or authority figures, or whatever it is. Yeah.
And
Or
of
any,
course,
yeah.
all of that fear of the appearance of others comes
Mhm.
from our fear that we have offended and separated from God.
Right. Right. And I agree with that. I think that the thing that I read in this chapter that I found so beautiful, and it's going to sound a little weird maybe, but it's like, so it says somewhere like, give all your, so make a point of giving all of your pains, all your problems and pains, give them to the Holy Spirit, because you're messing it up. So hand them over. Hand them over. But which is not to say, it's not to say that they're true, but that in our imagination, as we perceive things a lot of the time, we can feel that pain.
Right. Um, and that goes to level confusion that um, we've had a couple guests talk up and very insistent that this world is not real, which is the message in the course. And if you're, yesterday, um, uh,
But when it's talking about, just there, stop right there. This world, that's making an assumption that the world you see and the world I see is the same. When you say this world, you might as well be saying this world, I'm the way I'm seeing it. You know what I mean? Because there
I do.
is no world that is like actual. It's all about how we're perceiving it.
Right. You know what? And if we dismiss the Course of Miracles completely and took it from a um, neuropsychological perspective or a psychological perspective, um, it would still be the same. The world in which I perceive isn't real, um, because it's based upon my perceptions. So even getting rid of the course entirely, uh, just my own filters. If we took it from a
Right.
yogic psychology perspective, they're called
Right.
the
Just
kleshas.
noting that you are in a state of perception rather than necessarily um, highlighting holiness or
Right.
accepting holiness or, you know, um, loving and appreciating that you're blessed.
And I love how I do love the psychology of the course, and they talk about. And I brought this up with Chris. Chris. Why can't I pronounce his last name? Good thing I still have his book here. Niebauer on Saturday, and we talked about perception, and I mentioned the course talks. Everything is our interpretation, uh, based upon uh, our beliefs, based upon our, and all of it is illusory. Every last bit of it. The world is not what we think it is. A tree isn't
Right.
a
And in
tree isn't a
fact,
label.
this chapter starts off kind of on that note. It starts off talking a lot about the ideas of littleness and magnitude, so like it's kind of pointing out that we're using littleness as an aspect of ourselves to kind of keep magnitude at bay, you
Right.
know. But we'll never be satisfied with littleness. No, we'll only be satisfied. God's son can't be satisfied with anything but God's will.
I like that. What strikes me though is, hey Joe, hey Sniper, um,
Hey,
my
Chipmunk. Just had to say that.
me arguing my interpretation. Hey Daisy, my interpretation versus your interpretation. that,
Well, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about that, Eric, because your interpretation is wrong and mine is right.
well, I appreciate that. Now we get down to the truth.
Right. So we don't
Hey,
we don't really have to worry about that.
let me give a big thanks to Double X. Double X says, just
Yeah.
popping in saying hi. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you, my friend.
That's lovely,
And
double X, and I was just kidding, by the way, if you don't know me already. I'm always poking fun at Eric. He's just like my brother.
um, but you know what? We literally do that. We say, what you just said, but in a very serious manner. That my interpretation of the world is the way things actually are, and your
That is true.
interpretation
The
is
ego
absolutely
is
wrong.
forever projecting outward, making, the other person or that situation or whatever, guilt, 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 like as if we can, and the chapter talks about that, as if we can push guilt, by displacing guilt outside of ourselves, and the guilt's over there and therefore we don't have it. Doesn't work that way.
It does not, but we're pretty insistent.
Well, the ego is pretty insistent. Yeah. The ego thinks that the other thing that the ego does is it disguises it. So it knows that if it was that like blatant in its attacks that we'd be on it and be able to just like disregard the ego. So it kind of disguises it and makes it in the name of love, name of like goodness or holy, like you say, spiritual ego. It's like a bunch of
Right.
BS. It really is.
Let me say hi to our friend Fred who just came in. Hey, Fred.
Hey,
Daisy,
Fred.
thanks for being here. And Lady Sky says, "How are you, Yogi?" And I'm good. I'm good.
Yay.
Um, I got so much out of talking with Chris Niebauer, um, because he's a neuropsychologist,
All
and
right.
he has the subtitle of his book. His book is "No Self, No Problem."
Right. I saw a part. I didn't see the entire interview, but I did watch a good portion of it. So,
Um,
what was the
and
part?
it's
Hmm?
well, the subtitle is "How Neuropsychology is Catching Up to Buddhism," and he talked quite a bit about what you and I are talking about: interpretation, perception. We didn't get into that projection makes perception, but I'm positive that he would actually agree with that. And we talked about, every problem worldwide, politically, socially, is the clash of perceptions, the clash
Totally.
of
I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine for just a second, like, if people really carried around, like most people, like, kind of tip the balance on the school of monkeys that, you know, everybody's like main deal was like, wow, wouldn't it be great how I could, like, release you from my projections of fear and guilt on on these situations and everybody else, like what if like a whole bunch of people did that and made that their objective to like the greatest gift they could give people would be to release them from their imaginary
what a
problems
huge
and fears and
what a huge gift that actually is, and we could give it. Now,
yeah.
the reason I brought Chris up several times
Hmm.
is because we've had several friends who realized the troublemaking nature of the ego, but they were battling it and they get upset. So I keep choosing the ego, and now it's even worse. Uh,
So like
his
throwing sand in their own faces or whatever. Well, that's why
right,
this like season is so great. It's amazing, really amazing that what the Holy Spirit wants for Christmas is for you to give the Holy Spirit your problems,
right,
like,
and
but
your problem includes the ego. Don't fight it. Don't worry about it. Don't try to change it. Don't try to diminish it. Don't try to do anything. Just notice it.
yeah, or just if you can also just accept that n- besides ego, like everything is not ego, there actually is a spark of holiness. There actually is Christ within you. That's
Right.
what the whole Christmas message is about. Christ being born in you. You know, the
Me?
birth of Christ in you.
You don't mean me, do you?
Yeah, I do. I
Even
do.
me?
Yeah, I know.
So
Oh, totally you.
even
The
the guy that
wholeness
stole
of you.
even the guy that stole my parking spot in the mall,
Yep. Also,
and the guy that
also, yep.
bumped into me, and even
And
people in the
Chipmunk and Brian Lane and Tiger King and Bacta Ton and all the people who were visiting in the room, Lady Sky, all of them. Yeah,
it's pretty amazing,
yeah.
you know.
That's it.
And
They
we're not
all have
even
the spark. They all have the Holy Spirit. I'll even take it one step further and go, I don't really believe in their littleness. I'm going to vote for their magnitude in all things. And any doubt on that in their minds, they can give that to the Holy Spirit because they don't really care about it.
and even more amazing is that holy spark that you're talking about.
Hmm.
It's not one in me and one in you
No,
and
it's the same one. Yeah.
the same one,
It's
the
the
same
same one.
Christ.
Yeah,
So
it's the same one.
when Christ is born in my heart, Christmas, born in your heart, right?
Yeah, all of my heart, my head, my ears, my throat, my belly, my feet, you name it.
All right, wait a minute. Spleen, even the spleen,
My appendix,
your appendix.
get them. My kidneys.
Now we're just getting carried away.
Yeah. My thyroid. My thyroid.
Tiger King wants to know if Miss Blipper is doing the fishbowl. Well, Miss Blipper is here, and
I am. I
I
am.
cannot
And
imagine Miss
he
Blipper.
can't. He's never seen me without my fishbowl.
It's true. Um, so
I would just like to tell Tiger King, um, your your love of the fishbowl is my love of the fishbowl. It's one love of the fishbowl.
nice. I like that.
I am so honored that anybody enjoys my fishbowl. Let me tell you.
Brian says so. That's something from A Course in Miracles. That surrender everything to Holy Spirit.
Yeah, Yogi here, he's a big fan of the word surrender. I'm not. I'm just like give it up. It's not even like surrender. There's no like hands up or
Right.
anything. No
Someone
white
else mentioned
flag.
that the other day. I forget which guest that. The word surrender does not appear at all in A Course in Miracles.
Yeah, it's not
Uh,
about because it doesn't have. It is a beautiful word, but it does a little bit imply to some people's associations of that word sacrifice, and it really
right.
isn't about sacrifice. It's just like give it
I
up, hand it
and
over.
I can understand that. And the reason why I like it though is because it is I signify it to the end of my own personal war against myself.
Yeah.
That and I have been at war, and
Okay.
so many of us are. That
All right.
I
I
went
hope you hand
from
that over. You're going to give that to the Holy Spirit for Christmas.
I have been, I have been, I have been. And it's getting easier,
Okay.
but it
Good.
still creeps in. It's still um but doubling back to having some friends, especially here in the live stream, who uh at first they like didn't want to hear about the ego, or sort of deny that it's an issue that we all need. Well, we need a healthy ego. We need a spiritual ego. We need this kind of ego. Um, and then coming to see what a troublesome little instrument it can be, but then getting very upset but it keeps coming back and it keeps coming back. And Chris was just so perfect in his solution. So what? So what?
Yeah. I mean, part of that, I just think of that as part of the process. The attachment to the ego is it's like a love. We love the ego because we made the ego. We made it up, and so we think because we made it that it's therefore wonderful. It's like no, it's not. But if that can be a lesson that we're loved, that we're not alone, that there is Christ besides the ego, you know,
Right,
then that can be a lovely thing. That we can learn that it's not so surprising that we love the ego because Christ loves us, but we love it because we made it, and we got to get back to kind of creation. We're just a part of creation. Yeah.
Um, would you consider it a miscreation?
The
And,
ego?
yep. And oops, didn't mean to do that.
No, no, the ego is definitely I have no problems with the word miscreation, but I don't even associate the ego with creation. I think of the ego as something we made up.
Right.
It's like a made up hallucination or something.
Yep. And um,
A
it's literally
defense.
it's literally the dream.
It's a defense. It's a defense against God. It's a defense against love.
Um, Tiger King wants to know. It's true. Chris Ray, the singer-songwriter famous for his iconic Christmas hit "Driving Home for Christmas," passed away recently after a short illness around December 11th, 2025. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no
I
kidding. I
I
didn't know
haven't
that.
heard that.
No, not nor have I.
Speaking of Christmas, by the way, Christmas party here at 525 with Nature's Dog Realms. We're
Wait, you're having a Christmas party there with who?
here. We're having it here with Nature's Dog Realm.
Okay,
Chris, normally once a month we sing our Christmas theme, our TV theme songs,
right.
which we're also going to do, but we're going to sing some Christmas songs too.
Oh, nice. I like
But
it. Caroling.
yep, but unfortunately, um, she's not going to be able to get the lyrics up for some of the songs because she's having some technical issues,
Uh
which
oh.
leaves the onus of the singing uh, on me.
You're like the star of the show singer. Is that what you're
Well,
trying to do? Like
she
in the
she's always the
choir?
star. She's
Okay.
always the star. But I think I will end up. She'll join in the singing when she knows,
Mm.
and I'll have the lyrics in front of me, so I have no
Oh, I
excuses
see. I see.
whatsoever.
Well, maybe I mean there is a workaround that if you
Evan, by
knew
the
what
way,
you were going to sing in advance, you could look it up in advance. Yeah.
right? I did send some of it to her, so we'll see what happens. By the way,
Mhm.
Evan says, "Hey guys," and it's the hippie chick.
Yeah, that's me. All right. I that that's me, little flower child. I was. I mean, I was totally. I worked at a natural fruit and food restaurant. We're in San Francisco in the 19 early 1970s, 1973, 74,
Oh well.
75, 76. So yeah, I know all
Hey,
about hippies, communes, drugs, you name it.
speaking of San Francisco and
Hmm.
hippies, did you visit? Did you make a pilgrimage to Hyde Ashbury?
I lived on Haight Street and
Oh
worked
wow.
on Haight
Oh, so
Street.
you're a bona fide hippie.
I am.
Yeah, you got the bona fides. You got the roots. You got the.
I got it on my resume. Yeah.
Hey, did you get your photo taken at Hyde Ashbury at the corner?
I didn't get my photo taken. I worked at a place called the Grand Piano, which was run by a woman named Lexi Ahrens, who's no longer on this side of the veil. Um, she she was a Rudolf Steiner teacher,
Oh, nice.
and she had a big grand piano. I think she was like German Norwegian, and she only permitted classical music, and people would come in and play classical music on the grand piano, but sometimes they would be accompanied by other instruments. So there was only classical music, except at closing time. Then at closing time, when they shut the doors, you know, all the people who worked there were all like younger hippies like myself. Would, you know, hit up the rock and roll big time because Lexi would have gone home, left the cleanup to us. So I worked there. I worked at another club called Rock and Robins, which is like a 1950s club.
Right.
I lived, like I said, on Haight Street. I lived in an apartment that actually burned down. So I was in a fire on Haight Street as well.
Well,
And yeah, I used to hang out at a place called the Other Cafe, which is really cool. It was where Robin Williams kind of got his Big Start, so he would give free shows there. My roommate Barbara worked at the other cafe, so every year he would do like 4 shows, like one long weekend of free shows, and every time it was like Robin Williams live. It was fabulous.
Oh, cool. Hey,
Yeah, it was tough. What?
did you ever see a Dead show?
Um, I did see a Dead show. I have been to a Dead show, but I'll tell you the truth. I lived in another house. I lived on the corner of Page and Divisadero in an old Victorian that was once a dentist house. And two of the people, there's a couple, a young couple who lived there, Tom and Jody, and they were like complete deadhead stoners all the time. And it was too much. It was too much boring. Like, come on, you know? It was like just that all the time, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I've been there. I was that way all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. I was all in for a long time, over a decade.
Yeah.
Almost
No,
always.
always more. I was like, I had nothing against the Dead at all, but I was very eclectic. I certainly wasn't about to make them my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
But I think
um,
I've been even on, you know how there are those buses? They have like old ex-school buses that used to tour and go to, they go follow them all around the country, and just that's all they would do. I
mm,
think I've been on some of
yeah.
those. You've done that?
Been there.
Oh, so
Been
whoever's
there, lived it.
calling me a hippie, they were talking to you. I'm not the real hippie. I'm the hippie chick, but he's the real hippie.
Well, I've never made a pilgrimage to Hyde Ashbury, so I gotta salute. I
Well,
gotta
yeah,
salute you,
mine
Miss Blipper.
wasn't pilgrimage. Mine, I was just trying to get by. There you go.
Um, I'm gonna dive back in chapter 15.
All right.
Um, one thing I want to talk about, back to we were talking about creation a bit and miscreation, and you were talking about how that
I just,
even the little uh, bits of darkness in our perception that we have,
hmm
we brought light here too.
yeah. Well, I think somewhere else in the course, not in chapter 15, it talks about at some point uh, it's helpful to make a distinction between what is created and what is made. So we don't, as much as we sometimes like to think we have our own little private universe in our head, and it can seem that way, certainly at times. A we don't necessarily we don't want to go with what we make. We want to go with what's created. And creation is consistent. Creation is like the big picture. And our little picture doesn't have anything on the big picture. Nothing at all. Unless it's consistent with it, meaning, when somebody really wants to align their will with God's will, like you want to go, oh, you know creation, which is love, God's will is
Right.
love, but you really want to align, you want to align with God's will, then it's about creation. It's not about your little ideas of making stuff up. But can we procrastinate? Can we like go on making stuff up and pretending and defending and getting through our tangles and our knots and jumping through hoops of loops of our own making? Lifetimes.
Yep. Sure. Go ahead. Miscreate all you want.
You know. You're
But you know
you're
what?
you're free to do that. Like it's kind of like martial arts, where in martial arts here in the West and fighting and boxing, they're like boom, boom, boom. I know you like it when I do my gesture, so it's like boom,
Yep.
boom,
And the
boom,
sound
boom,
effects.
boom.
And the sound
Yeah,
effects.
right. It's like Batman, right? And boom, boom, boom. And that's how they fight in the West. But in martial arts, there's that thing where you let people topple from the force of their own. So instead of you know hanging back at them, bonking back at them, then you let them go with that that energy that they put out, and it will topple them. They'll literally fall over their own energy. You can do that, but it's not a pretty picture, you know.
Right.
There's a lot of suffering involved in all that.
So let's take a slight turn because we
Hmm.
do talk a bit about the ego, and I think it's important to know what we're not in order to start knowing what we are. And I think that's where we're heading in this conversation. Is we're starting to talk about what we are, and that we have been endowed with all of the creative abilities of our own creator,
Yes.
and every loving thought that we have is true, and it's a creative act. It's art.
Yeah, but it's also about communication, meaning that we can, like the prayer that you say. It's like, God, I'm here. Here I am, Lord. It's like, um, it, communication is a real thing. It's a full thing. So it's like inviting full communication and going, oh, no limits here, no limits on communication, because this body, I'm not even this body. you know there's more to it than all that.
Um, and it never strikes me as less than absolutely amazing to consider that we literally can bring. I love how Kabbalah presents it. Our actual job is to bring that the 99% world to this 1% world. That's the ultimate act of creation.
Yeah, it's a welcoming. It's like a big continual invitation and a big continual party, and everybody's invited. Oh, there's no exclusion, you know.
None. I was sharing my email real quick with our friend
Sure.
Evan.
Great.
Um, our McLovin came in, and
Hmm.
this is definitely for you.
All right.
He wants to know, can you talk less?
Me.
Because, yes, because he has diabetes and can't bear that sweet voice.
Oh, I wouldn't. All hearings and blessings to your well-being.
Hey, Coffee Cake, our friend, the Coffee Cake Levin Bish is here. And by the way, for those who might not know, she has a wonderful singing voice. I don't know why she hasn't come up and kicked me off stage and taken over the show and start singing herself.
Coming coming to a phone screen near you soon, or maybe a computer screen. I spoke to a friend of mine today, Deborah, who used to study Course in Miracles with me. Like, I've known her for years and years. How many years have I known Deborah? I don't know, 20 something years. Um, and she had watched uh, last week's meeting with you, from Rome.
Oh,
She's in Rome as well. It was fun. She's like, oh, it's like talking to you in the living room. It was really
nice.
nice. Yeah.
Um,
She had wanted me to ask you, because she's a yoga teacher, she's a yoga person. Um, is there a particular kind of yoga that you practice? Does it have a name?
mainly, I practice Raja Yoga, which
Raja?
is, yep,
Okay.
which loosely translates to uh, kingly or royal yoga, and it
Okay.
is the 8 branches of yoga.
Okay.
But at one time or another, and still now, hey Praveen, uh, I all 4 of the main branches of yoga that have been presented in Bhagavad Gita uh, have a place in my heart. From uh, jhana yoga, which is a yoga of self inquiry, where we ask, who am I, and we read the holy scriptures, to karma yoga, which is the yoga of being of service to others.
Hmm.
Um, and our friend Bhakta Tam, he's a Bhakti yogi. That's the yoga of devotion.
Okay.
And I sort of consider uh, Course in Miracles to be bhakti yoga. That it's a path of devotion. We're literally devoting. It's also a path of jhana yoga, because we're literally inquiring to who we truly are, dismissing all the things that we're not.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I was asked that all the time, that how do you square away yoga and A Course in Miracles? And I don't.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's like Kabbalah. I don't. Yeah, I don't.
right,
It's not an issue for me.
but
Not.
Raja Yoga has the 8 limbs of yoga, and it starts with the ethical foundation. They have what's called the 5 yamas:
Mm-hmm.
non-harm, non-stealing, non-hoarding, management of energy. Then it has the 5 niyamas, which are the um, practices, like cleanliness practices, discipline, uh, cleanliness, self-study, that kind of stuff. Then it has the breath work, pranayama. Then it has the asanas, doing the
Mm-hmm.
postures.
Mm-hmm.
Then it has pratyahara, which is withdrawal of the senses, just practicing instead of all our focus being on the world. Just spend some time turning within and cultivate that interior sense, spaciousness.
Yeah.
And then the 3 stages of meditation, starting with concentration, and then absorption, so we sort of concentrate on the mantra or whatever, the breath, whatever we're meditating on.
Mm-hmm.
And then as our concentration deepens, we become absorbed in that, in the breath or the mantra or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then that leads to samadhi, which is God consciousness, bliss consciousness. So that's basically, I just do yoga.
Yeah, I think she's a Ashtanga yoga
Right. Very
practitioner.
athletic form of yoga.
Right.
Now, originally, Ashtanga or Ashtang, depending on what part of India, and Praveen would know more about this than me. Um, they dropped the A in some parts of India. So Ashtang means 8.
Okay.
So originally, Raj Yoga was also called Ashtanga Yoga because it's the 8 limbs of yoga. But then in the early mid 1900s or so, a teacher formed Ashtanga Yoga, which is very athletic. So also what our friend Goga practices.
Oh, good to know. She'll be happy. If she listens to this, Debbie, that information. See, I asked the question.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Um,
Oh, there's a game that we play in Italy when it's kind of like Jinx in America when people say the same thing at the same time.
oh, right.
Like we just said, there you go at the same time, right? I don't know if you noted that. Here they have a thing called flick flock, which is people put their pinkies together and then they went because they said something at the same time. First of all, they make a wish. Each of them makes a wish and then they go 1, 2, 3, and then they have to either pick flick or flock. No, and if they both say the same flick or flock, then their wishes come true.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Much gentler than here when we punch each other. Um,
right, right,
you
right.
say jinx, and the first one to speak
Loser, right, right.
gets punched. Jeez, big difference between Italy and America, isn't it?
Or yeah, one person gets a wish and the other person doesn't get a wish. That's not very nice either.
We've got a question from Coffee Cake. Is there chair yoga? There is chair yoga. And chair yoga is just practicing the asanas. And remember, the postures isn't really yoga. You could be a yogi and never do one of the asanas postures ever. It's really such a small, but it has become so identified with yoga that that's
Hmm.
what we think.
Hmm.
But there are asanas that you can do completely in a chair.
Hmm.
Um, are you or someone that you know interested in it? Coffee Cake? If I think about it, I can try to make a video of a nice little chair yoga routine.
That'd be good. I like that idea. I see a question for me from S. Dizion. Does Ms. Blipper live in Italy? And if so, which part? Sì, vivo a Roma, no, da quanti anni? 38 anni, più di metà della mia vita. Parlo pure italiano, mangio pure italiano. Ho la figlia nata qui a Isola Tiberina e se taglio, posso anche tirare un sasso e arriva a Varigano, ecco.
Did you get that, Estat? You want me to translate it?
Yes, please. I would like that. I
Um,
would like that.
well, loosely translated,
Sure, go for it.
very loosely,
Yeah,
like
no problem.
really, 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 really loosely.
Uh-huh.
Ms. Blipper said, "Everyone, hold on, please, for just a second, because we're about to dive in to the big fishbowl of imperatives. If anyone might be interested,
Yeah,
let her know."
sort of like it. Sort of
Yeah,
like it.
loose, like I
Yeah.
said, loosely,
So if
loosely
anybody
translated.
wants to know about the fishbowl, here it is. There might be something in there for you if you have the courage to ask or invite an imperative. Maybe you want to know what an imperative is. An imperative is a form of speaking or writing where it just kind of gives a command. It's like, do this, say this, close your eyes, sit down, be nice, where it's not asking anything, it's just telling you. And so I have them all. The ones.
So, what do
Yeah.
the imperatives have to do with Course in Miracles?
They're all from the Course in Miracles. Every imperative in this fishbowl is from A Course in Miracles.
Let's see. Longjen says, "Please hook me up with an imperative, Miss Blipper."
Oh,
He needs,
yeah.
he needs the hookup.
All right. Does he have a right hand, left hand?
Sissy too, by the way. Do you have a
Okay.
preference? Which hand? How deep? You want a shallow pool? You want a deep dive in?
It's all good. It's all good. All right. Long John, here it goes. I know Tiger King should go next because he did ask first. Okay. Long John. This particular imperative says, let us consider once again the very first of the decisions that are offered here. Let us consider once again the very first of the decisions that are offered here. And the decision that I would suggest would be for this chapter is like, are you interested in littleness or are you interested in magnitude? You
That's been a
interested?
theme.
Yeah. Chapter 15 theme specifically.
And people don't realize we are literally not just settling for our littleness, we're insisting upon it and we're arguing for it.
Well, and we're using it as a defense against greatness and as a defense against love and, and well-being, miracles.
Yep.
So who's
Tiger
next?
King,
Tiger King,
says, with your right hand.
right hand.
And when you
Okay.
pull one for Sissy, she asks if you could do it with your left hand while standing in the tree pose, the yoga tree pose.
Is
And
that on
spinning
one
in,
foot, the yoga tree pose?
yep, and spinning in a circle.
Okay. How do you stand in the tree pose and spin in a circle at the same time? I don't know how to do that.
You gotta bring it up with Sissy.
Okay, but I can do left hand. How does she feel about candles? Because I got all the candles lit right now because we just finished the Festival of Lights. Look how pretty that is.
Oh wow.
Yeah? See all the candles?
Yep.
Lots of them. Oh, there's more here too. Hello, candles. Okay. All right. So who am I doing right now? Somebody with the right hand.
Tiger
Right?
King with the right hand.
Tiger
Deep
King
down in.
with the right hand. Tiger King with the right hand. Fishbowl of imperatives. It says, Tiger King, give only honor to the sons of the living God and count yourself among them gladly.
I like that.
I like it too.
Can you unpack that?
Give only honor. I think if you recognize other people and yourself as kind of all being all created from the same God, the only kind of real sane response to that is to honor that.
Um, who was it? If you, Thomas Merton, if you only
Oh,
knew who you truly are, he supposed the biggest problem we would have is falling to our knees in worship of each other.
yeah,
Um,
right.
and so unpacking that a little more for Tiger King,
Hmm.
Tiger King, if you knew who you truly were, um, you'd have no choice but to honor that truth of who you are. And if you truly saw who you were, you would also have to recognize that in everyone, and you'd have that same honor. Because to dishonor anyone would be to dishonor yourself, and to dishonor yourself would be to dishonor everyone as well.
Yeah, it would be like looking at magnitude and saying it's nothing.
Right.
It's just
So
a
not only
point.
that,
It's a
we
point.
would literally be dishonoring God when we
And
dishonor
ourselves,
other
and
people.
ourselves, and
Right.
ourselves. Right.
Amazing to consider. All right. So
Thank
now
you.
we get the left-handed standing spinning tree pose.
Okay, I'm gonna
Only
try
an
that.
advanced yogi. Only an advanced yogi can do this.
I don't know how. I'm lost with the spinning part.
All right. Skip the
That's
spinning, especially since I
okay.
made everything up. So
Okay. Oh, all right. So with the tree pose, it's one leg, right?
yep. Put
It's
one leg.
one leg up.
Yep, put it on your ankle, or so you can do as high up. But I think it's easiest to start with around your ankle.
Oh, that it's actually easier for me, I think, higher up, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Okay.
Uh,
Da-dum. Well, I get kind of wobbly. Maybe I should try the ankle. Okay, there's my ankle now. Now what?
reach in,
With my left hand or my right hand? My right hand, right? No, my left hand.
left hand, only for you, sissy.
Okay, sissy. Here it is from the bowl of imperatives. The fishbowl of imperatives. It says, let my relationship to you be real to you, and let me bring reality to your perception of your brothers. Backed up, handing everything over to the Holy Spirit. Does that need unpacking? It seemed pretty clear to me. Let my
Let's
relationship to you be real to you. Oh, let it be.
let it be. Sissy
And
says,
let
"What the
me
heck?"
bring reality to your perception of your brothers. And the reality of your brothers also from them. Sissy says,
She says, "What the heck, yogi, for making you stand on one leg." It was
no
just a
worries.
suggestion.
No worries. Just don't make me put the fishbowl in my head because it might break. It
She
would
says,
be
"I totally blamed her for the playful mischief." Oh yeah, sissy, that's because we're one. I was honoring the trickster within you. The trickster within me was honoring the trickster within you.
yeah, yeah.
And Christmas is
Pure recognition.
it's a season of tricksters, right?
It's a season of sibling rivalry.
There you go. There you go.
Who gets the big present, right?
Um, let's see. Oh, a nice thing from Sniper said, uh, Sniper has not asked for the imperative yet, but I'm pretty sure that he'd want a deep dive. Pretty sure he'd want it with the left hand. Um,
He does like prefer the left hand. That's
he
true.
says, "May the solar seed awaken to Tiger King. May the solar seed awaken within your spirit's darkest night, to birth a new consciousness."
Yay, beautiful. It is been just the solstice, so we're just now today on our way of longer days.
Yes. Makes me happy.
Yes, me too.
Tough time of year for so many. The dark nights, the early nights, the dark.
Darkness is a struggle for many people. That's true.
It is. Um, Tiger King says, Ms.Blipper, make Eric do something. Tell her that, Eric, please.
Make Eric do something what?
He wants me to tell you to make me do something since uh, it's Sissy who's the one who should make me do something since I'm the one who threw her under the bus.
I kind of prefer just like letting Eric worry that I'm going to make him do something. No, like let it,
Sooner or later, the other shoe's gonna drop.
right? Just like anticipation, just wallow in the anticipation that there will be some sort of mini torture coming your way, right?
I am giving my wallowing to the Holy Spirit.
Right.
So Sniper, an imperative.
Lingerie, new dawns,
Oh, he
and
wants
a
to
new
switch.
dawn. What?
He says, I switch.
Who switch?
Sniper. Does that
Is
mean you want to
switching
write a right-handed pull?
Team Ms.Blipper? Thank you, Tiger King. He's a sports guy, you know.
That's okay. Sissy and I are on the same team, even though even though I threw her on the bus. I know she's not going to hold any. She's not going to hold it against
I'm
me.
just saying, bless Tiger King's heart, because you remember, when you're a kid in school, like elementary school or whatever, and there's like the team captains. You never want to be like the last picked.
True. Long John says, Ms.Blipper, can you do a deep dive for Yogi with a right hand while singing Jingle Bells?
I can. Wait. Hold on. I can even add something to the mix. You ready?
Yep. Oh, nice.
Dashing through the snow in one horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, do do, making spirits bright. Oh, what fun it is to ride an open sleigh tonight. So jingle bell, Santa smells. I can't remember the rest of the words.
Batman. I think Batman laid an egg, right?
Something like that. All right. So this is the one that somebody else suggested I pick out of the fishbowl with my right hand for you singing Jingle Bells.
Yep, that was Long John.
Yeah, Long John Erics says, forget not that the choice of sin or truth, helplessness or power is the choice of whether to attack or heal.
Nice. We've been very much on theme with
Yeah,
these.
that's actually on very much on theme with my lesson for today, which is all about um, uh, sickness and healing and kind of like opening up the vision about what God's word is. If I can find it, it should be here. Let's see.
Um,
Tell
Sniper's
me.
going to take one from the bottom, and
On the
Adam wants one before he's last. He doesn't want to be last.
Okay, so I'm sure Chipmunk won't mind if Adam goes first. Right, because he's like a gentleman.
Oh,
Okay.
and Tiger King's wife wants one too. So we
Oh,
got
okay.
three to go.
So I'll go. I'll do Adam, and then I'll do Tiger King's wife, if that's all right. And Chipmunk, I'll do yours because I have to do that with a different hand. I think. Adam, Adam. Adams says, do not believe there can be justification for the unjustifiable, and do not teach that there is. So, no justification for the unjustifiable.
So what's not justifiable?
What's not justifiable is like when we're making up attack thoughts, when we're making up um eh, messages in our head which um don't mesh at all with uh God's will.
Nice. And that was for Adam,
Adam.
right?
That was Adam. Now we have Tiger King's wife, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He wants me to sing something Christmas while you pick,
Oh,
but
great. I like
I
that.
I can't
Yeah, you can. Why
because I
can't you?
I have a show tonight. I have a
Oh, you
Christmas
got to
I have a
conserve
Christmas show
your
tonight. So
voice.
yeah, I gotta.
Sing very lightly. Go a very, very light version of Silent Night. Or you can just do the rhythm for the little drummer boy. Bum 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 bada bum bum
Um,
bum 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 bada bum bum.
I don't know if I know all the words. I don't know if I know all the words to a single Christmas song. Uh, to be honest with you,
But you
it
know
just
the
occurred to me.
tune, right? So can you go like that? Like I went to all concerts of English bands in Italy. They come to the stadium or whatever, and they'll be like, "Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday," and then they'll be like, "Na na 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 na." Like you don't really have to know the words; you can just do the tune. Yeah.
Um, let me see. Let me see what I can do. Are you ready?
Da di da dum. Don't want to confuse you.
I was gonna do Little Drummer Boy
Oh, perfect.
as you do it. Are you ready?
So I'm picking. So he's gonna do this tune to Little Drummer Boy while I am picking for Tiger King's wife. Great.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sing it. Here we go. They told me, pum 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 pum, a newborn king to see, pum 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 pum. Our finest gifts we bring, pum 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 pum, pum 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 pum, pum 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 pum.
You ready?
I'm ready.
It's a little sweet, little short, sweet one, and it says is, "Do not be afraid to look within." But I love that. What's to fear? Look inside.
Of course, the ego fears because it'll disappear or it'll
Right.
be diminished. It'll have less of a hold.
Or you might find Christ there. You might actually find a spark of love and light and joy and happiness and truth. And then like ego will have to like go like a deflated balloon. Yeah.
Ellie said, Yogi, no excuses. Ellie never lets me off the hook. Um,
No excuses for what? What is she asking?
oh, for me to sing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's good. I like it. Thank you for telling him that. It's true. True story. All right. So we did Adam. We did Tiger King's wife. Now I got to do Squirrel Chipmunk.
Yep.
Chipmunk.
And anyone else who might want one? By the way, Tiger King's wife gave me a 9 out of 10.
All right. I thought you did a very good job myself. I do think that because you did the pum 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 pum.
I did
I
do the
didn't
pum pum
do
pum.
that. Um,
I was going to break out. Do you ever heard Hendrix do that? I was going to break
n-
out into a Hendrix air guitar solo mid
no,
parumpa
I
pum
have to
pum.
look that up. Did he do a version of that?
He did.
Wow. I
It's
gotta look
pretty
that up.
awesome. Pretty awesome.
I bet. I bet. I'm totally gonna look it up. All right. So this one is gonna be for Chipmunk, aka Squirrel Sniper. I just feel like those chipmunks have had to work around his squirrel sniping. Ah, Chipmunk. Dear Chipmunk. Says, dream of your brother's kindnesses instead of dwelling in your dreams on his mistakes.
Awesome.
Mm.
I love that.
It's beautiful.
It is. I take that to heart for me. That's the nature of forgiveness. That sums up forgiveness as seen through the lens of A Course in Miracles. As the Holy Spirit sees you, that's what we forgive. And that was a perfect description of how people are like, how do we forgive the unforgivable? And the body has unforgivable things. As long as we believe we are a body, we're going to see unforgivable things. But when we make the shift of seeing with the truth of who we are, when we see the Christ within the Christ, then forgiveness makes sense.
Yeah. And it's really not all that difficult at all. It's just like it's saying, remember to dream about the kindnesses.
So our friend Chef Mary says, Eric, where's my Christmas gift? Chef Mary,
Are you giving her a holy instant? I thought you were giving her a holy instant. That was what you told me.
I will give her an holy instant. I will.
Oh.
I will give her the yogic namaste. I will see the Christ risen in Mary.
Hmm.
Also, so it is a return gift to
Hmm.
me as well.
Yeah. Total alignment. I would like to offer her personally wholeness. Just total wholeness with creation and God's will. I hope that will do. Like the naked truth itself.
Yep. Hey, Sniper very beautifully says to Tiger King, every king has a queen, Tiger King.
Oh, lovely. And even a cat may look at a king.
True. Did anyone else want a imperative? Well, we got the big bowl out.
No worries. I have thought that when I do a video, and eventually I will, that I'll just sit like on my sofa and I will just read imperative after imperative. Like I'll just have a long session of emptying the fish bowl.
How long do you think, if he sat there, it would take you to empty that fish bowl?
Oh, I don't think I could sit long enough to empty the fishbowl. I'd have to do it in bits. Like it could be like emptying the fishbowl parts 1 through 20 or something. A series.
Um,
I'd have to do a whole series on called "Emptying the Fishbowl."
Adam, what's another one? Before we do that, our friend, if you don't mind joining me in song, our friend Chef Mary's birthday is on the 24th.
Oh wow!
We can offer her a birthday song now if you want.
Can I sing to Chef Mary in Italian?
Sure.
Tanti auguri a te, tanti auguri a te, tanti auguri, Chef Mary, tanti auguri a te.
Beautiful. Uh, Jack is trying to catch up on ice cream right now. All right.
Ew!
Report back.
No!
Let us know how it
No!
goes.
No! You don't do that. Yeah. No, that's like putting milk and sugar on spaghetti or something. It's like, no.
Tiger King would like you to pick one for Lady Sky, but that's up to Lady Sky if she would
Yeah,
like.
that's up to. But there was somebody else who wanted one. Adam wanted
Adam
another
wanted
one.
another one. Yep.
Okay. Does Adam have a preference with right hands or left hands?
Thank you, Teresa.
Sit beside the breakfast table. Think about your troubles. All right, Adam, left hand or right hand, dear? You know that both you and Adam like take videos of toads. Do you think that's like a weird coincidence?
Videos of toads.
Yeah.
Um, Weird. I think probably everything that Adam and I do together is going to be kind of weird. Um, And I know I appreciate.
I'm a big fan of the Toad videos. Yeah.
Me too. I I just like them. I like toads. I like frogs. Um, let's see.
What's that song? There's a Carole King song about a toad, didn't? And he struggled, came across a toad, or so, stumbled across a. My life has been a tapestry. Dee da 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 dee dum. Mm-mm-mm. Came across a toad or something. I don't know. Yeah. So
I
Adam, I still don't know if I should go with the right hand or the left hand.
think
I
he
guess
said
it doesn't
either.
matter. What he said, either or.
Yep. I do want to say again to Tiger King. Tiger King. It's really sort of up to the person to ask. I think, right?
Yeah, no, I mean I'm not strict on rules, but it is completely a voluntary process. Yeah, so we just let people ask if they want a fishbowl imperative, then they'll ask. We accept that. Take a chance, lick a toad. Yeah, find your prince.
I like Carol King.
Yeah, didn't isn't there a toad in her song on Tapestry?
I don't remember.
You don't
Tapestry's a
remember a toad?
awesome, awesome album though.
Adam, your second imperative says, do the Holy Spirit's work, for you share in his function. I'll second that idea.
Hey,
And his hand came up empty.
Lady Sky, are you still here?
Oh, I remember there's Straight from Iowa was a bullfrog. Now that definitely has a toad in it. It was a
Right.
bullfrog. Yeah.
Yep. Three Dog Night.
Yep. That was a good band, I must say. They did like some wild three-part harmonies. They
They
really
did,
did.
and they
I
even
love
mentioned
the
that.
I love the song Eli's Coming.
Yep. I like On the Road to Shambhala. I like Old Fashioned Love Song because they even talk about the three-part harmony.
And what's the one with the mama? There's one about the mama.
Mama told me not to come.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, they were big in the through the 70s.
True.
So hey, Lady Sky, Tiger King would like a imperative pick for you. But it's up to you, Lady Sky.
You're welcome, dear Adam. My pleasure.
Thank you. Praveen, did you want an imperative?
I like it. He called me Ms.Blipper. Now, Flipper was a punk band in San Francisco, very famous in San Francisco for the locals,
Right.
famous punk band, and they had a song that was interesting because it went life is the only thing worth living for.
Um, let's see. So Ms.Blipper said she would take one. Evan says, Eric, you should go to the public house on New Year's. You don't have to drink. Nah, I've already done all that.
Been
You know.
there, done that. Yeah.
Yep.
So this is for Lady Sky.
But
Then we're
Lady
gonna
Sky.
pick one. Lady
Hey,
Sky.
Share Bear.
Lady Sky. Lady Sky. Lady Sky. Lady Sky. Lady
Merry
Sky.
Christmas, Share Bear.
Lady Sky. Lady Sky. Okay. Oop. Actually, two. There's another one that came out.
Tiger King thinks you should pull one for yourself too.
That I should pull one for me?
Yep.
Actually, one just fell on the floor by accident. Maybe that's mine. This is the one for Lady Sky. It says, practice giving this blessed instant of freedom to all who are enslaved by time, and thus make time your friend for them. And I love this because that's so on theme with what we were talking about, like this whole like Christmas theme. This is like the Christmas theme Monday with Ms.Blipper, right? And It's all about us um, giving each other a holy instant of release. Like, I'm just going to release everybody from my judgments and release them from all my gluppity glup. So you're all free to be happy. Please help
Well,
yourself.
thank you. Been waiting for this, finally. Hey, Evan wants to
It's been
know
a
if you would
while.
ever drink a THC drink.
Me?
Yep.
Absolutely.
He's like,
Why not?
why? Do you have one? Are you offering one?
Right. Of course. Okay, and the one that fell on the floor, which I believe is the one that was like meant for me, it says, and you've said this like 100, I've heard you say this, Yogi, like hell a lot of times. Seek not to change the world, but choose to change your mind about the world. Ta-da. There you go. Happy?
I am. I am happy. But you know, that is really one of my favorites.
I know. I know.
Be, because I spent a lot of time wanting to change the world. Um, One, because it never seemed to agree with me, and two, it always seemed a mess. Doesn't make any sense. Why are we fighting each other? Why are we doing this? Why are we letting people starve? Uh, why are people voting the way they vote? Why do we vote against our own best self-interest?
Why do we
Uh,
make wars? Why do we send people off to get killed? Why do we
no,
like have school shootings? Why do we,
and why don't we do anything about school shootings?
right?
Um,
Or healthcare? Yeah.
right. And you brought up war. What a ridiculous concept! When enough of my people die, uh, you win. But if more of your people die, then you win. Who actually
And who
wins?
cares so much about winning? Like the fact that always somebody is suffering. They're losing a loved one, they're losing a son or a brother or a child or whatever it is, and there's just like there's an endemic suffering there. So like you'd think that like war after war after war after war after war after war, somebody would go, hey, that's not really working out.
Right. I
you know
forget who it was. He said, one, I think it might have been Winston Churchill who said, war is always the failure of diplomacy. We just give up. We shrug our shoulders. Well, enough. Let's kill each other. Um, and I think it was Wayne Dyer who said, in the history of warfare, um, it's never worked. Otherwise, we would just need one, right? There wouldn't be war after war after war.
it
Uh,
doesn't it yeah it just it's it, it doesn't function. Truly, there must be a better way. Truly.
right.
You know, I asked
Um,
my mother one time, I asked her what has always in her lifetime, remained the same, what's always been the same in her lifetime. And she said that there's always been poverty and there's always been suffering. There's always been poverty and suffering. There's always been war and there's always been children.
so we're blaming the children, is what you're saying. I've had my I've
Not
had
their
my
fault.
suspicions. I've had my suspicions.
Yeah.
Um,
Those creepy kids in the hood.
you know, one of the creepiest sounds ever is they use it in movies all the time. The sound of children playing at night. You know, when I do my early morning walks, like uh, uh, sometimes 3, 4 in the morning, and I'll go by. We have like playgrounds in the woods, and I get this little shudder. Am I going to hear? Am I going to see an invisible swing going with no child on it, and hear this laughter in the middle of the woods? I walk a little.
Ah!
I walk a little bit faster when I have those thoughts.
Uh, they have in this kind of you know weird but kind of cool too. Like so, before antibiotics and whatnot, there was a lot of plagues and a lot of people who died in plagues and colds and flus and Spanish flus and illnesses, when, things just weren't being as easily taken care of as they are today with hygiene and whatnot. So there were a lot of children, who passed away. And in the cemeteries in Italy, they actually have areas which are just for children. So like all the
Oh, wow.
statues are for the children. But it was kind of sweet in a way, because then the families who had lost children could always be near other families who had lost children. It's kind of like had an inbuilt empathy going on, understanding. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to piggyback. Tiger King has a question, but before we do that, I want to piggyback on there is a solution to everything that we said. And it's what fell on the floor. The world is always going to be the same.
Yeah. Change your way you look at it.
Yep.
Where is it?
Uh,
Let's see if I can
and it
find it.
happens collectively, but every collective starts with a singularity.
Yep. Let's see. Seek not to change the world, but choose to change your mind about the world. So, about the world and about my mind about the world is to recognize again that I can release the world from my projections of inadequacy or difficulty or suffering or pain. And I can decide, no, I prefer, God's gift, God's creation, God's will, God's peace, God's love.
Nice. So Tiger King says, Eric, can you ask Ms.Blipper this, please? My wife said, where do you get all those words from? And the questions and the quotes, one for the fishbowl, and what made you come up with the idea? Two, the idea to do it, I guess.
All right. This is what happened is I have been studying A Course in Miracles for a really long time, like Yogi here. We've both been studying it for a long time. Um and it because a lot of people who study the course a lot, it's always it can be very interesting how much you don't see. Like you read through this entire thing, 1,000 pages or whatever, and you do all these 365 exercises, and then you go back to it. Maybe you're trying to look something up, and you read things that you don't even remember ever having seen before, and it's just like, oh, how did I miss that? No, because there's a lot to miss. And so in the book A Course in Miracles, both in the workbook and the text, I recognized that there were a lot of imperatives. Like there were a lot of instructions basically. And I kind of found it overwhelming how much, like, I can't keep up with all these instructions. These are more instructions than I can keep up with. And so what I did is every time I found an imperative, an instruction in the course, I would copy and cut it and paste it into another document which was only imperatives. And then I took a bunch of scissors. I took scissors and I cut these these pages of imperatives up into little, like, bite-sized pieces, little fortune-shaped pieces, so that I could just like um kind of meditate on them or think of them at one time, like reach into the fishbowl. It's like having, fortune cookies available whenever you want, except they're always instructions. When I feel like I want an instruction, or maybe an instruction would be helpful, then I can just reach into the fishbowl. That's it. That's all. It was actually, I think it was you who actually, I mean, I showed you that I had a fishbowl. I was like,
Right.
you want to see that I'm certifiably nutcase, like a nutball. Here's my fishbowl. And then you were like, Heather's got a fishbowl. It's like, show me your fishbowl, Heather. It's like, okay, here it is. Yeah, that's how it got. Does that answer the
Um,
question?
I believe it does. I, you know, I want to assure you, by the way, that I had no doubt that you were certifiable before you even showed me the fishbowl.
Oh,
So
okay.
just
Right
in
off the
case
bat. All right.
Right.
Okay.
In case you were wondering.
Intuitively recognized, another nutball from.
What do they say? Um, uh, like recognizes like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's how it goes.
Man in the Mirror, I think, is another one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sissy. Sissy gave us some floating jewels. Much appreciated.
Oh, very sweet. I saw somebody called me extra shiny. I think it was Adam who said I was
Adam.
extra shiny today. I am
Yep.
extra shiny today. There's a reason. Shh, don't tell anybody. I found out I'm going to be a grandmother.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, your daughter's in the States, or is she in Italy?
She's in Switzerland.
Switzerland. Wow. Which is really not that far.
Right.
Um,
She's lived all over. She's lived in, God, she's worked in Paris. She's worked in Japan. She's worked in New York. She's worked in LA. She's worked in Holland. She's worked in Iceland. She's worked in all over the place.
what does she do?
She is a tech person. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Praveen wants to know. He says, "My dad's elder brother's daughter means his cousin family also live in Italy,
Mm,
in Rome. They are citizens of Italy. Moved from India to Italy around 1994."
wow. Cool.
Okay.
Great. Interesting. My neighbors.
Also wants to know: can the fishbowl be worn on the head in an underwater or space emergency?
No. And you know why? Well, it probably could by a baby, but I've got like this like ridiculous. It's a you know uh, genetic deformity in my family. We all have like these just ridiculously large heads, and the fishbowl
Okay.
opening is just not big enough for this immense organ of brain that it might fit on Eric's. So I don't know. It might fit
A lack of hair makes it easier.
on-
And getting it on is always the easy part. Getting it off because it gets stuck in the ears. That's a speaking from
Right.
experience, by the way. Um, I wonder if my head, that little odd thought that we all get. I wonder if my head would fit in that. Um, you know,
I like the idea. I do. I totally appreciate the idea because I mean the size is it is the right size for you know a underwater aquarium or even walking on the moon. Would
sure.
be fine.
Hey, before you put that away, our
Hmm.
good friend Starseeker says, "Can she have a fishbowl, please?"
Yes, absolutely. Does she have a preference with the left hand or right hand?
You have a preference, Starseeker?
Star Seeker, preference right hand, left
Sissy
hand.
says, "Babies are big heads.
Babies are what?
Babies are big heads."
Babies are big heads. Yeah.
I'm
Bean
always
heads.
afraid,
They're all bean heads.
that whenever I notice like a baby like looking at me, and I know what they're thinking. They're thinking, "Holy
Is
crap,
that,
that's the biggest
is
baby
that
I've
going to
ever seen."
happen to me? Is that
Is that going to happen to me? That's the biggest baby I've ever seen. Why? Why is this baby got the bald head like I do, but he's got a beard and he's standing up and
what's
walking?
that? What's going?
And I'm like,
Like
"Don't judge me, baby."
they're going like, what's wrong with that baby?
I
What
know
happened to
it's
him?
the most deformed baby I've ever seen.
Poor, poor
Like
thing.
judging me. Tell that to the mother. I'm like, "Your baby's judging me. I can tell." She says, "No
What really is
preference."
fun though, with being bilingual, that is fun is that um, when babies are like getting whinier and they're in the supermarket and they're having a meltdown or whatever. And if they're Italian babies and you speak to them in English, they just stop right in their tracks because they want to, like, what is this person saying to me? Like foreign languages, they're like whining just stops and their ears open up and they want to, like, figure out what's going on. Like, alert, is it a danger? Stranger danger. Star Seeker. This imperative says, remember, if sin is real, both you and God are not. And by sin, I want to unpack this a little bit because remember, if sin is real, what does that mean? If sin is real. And it's like kind of what we were talking about is sin. Another way of looking at sin is to go, is the idea of a lack of love. It's the idea that there can be something that can't be corrected, that can't be helped, that can't be resolved, that can't be I mean the atonement, which is according to the Course of Miracles, kind of what we accept for ourselves. It's just like the undoing of the illusion, you know. So it's kind of saying that if a lack of love is real, both you and God are not, because that's all God is, and you're a part of God's creation.
Um, I think that is probably one of the main reasons I fell in love with Course in Miracles. Just that sheer relief. Um, so I'm not
What I thought I was.
right. I'm not awful.
Yeah.
I'm not a. I'm going to Catholic school. Day one. I'm told I'm a sinner.
Yeah, or you're just not that frustration that mom can't get through to, or you're not that person who, got a low score on yesterday's math test, or you're not, the guy that the little neighborhood gang wants to jump just to, show their punks or whatever. You know what I mean? You're not
Right.
all that.
Tiger King wants me to go out and get a Christmas jumper before tonight's show. Um,
Can he just like take a safety pin and put on an elf or something?
I don't think we have any Christmas stuff left in the house. Might be something in the attic, but I also think there's about 17 raccoons living in my attic too. So
Really? Do you think so?
probably. Um,
Really? Are you sure
there-
they're
there's
not like just roof rats? They're more often it's roof rats than it is raccoons. How do you know
maybe
you got raccoons in the
because I refuse to think about rats now that you planted that in my head.
So you're
Um,
you're hearing the squirrely noises. Tell me they don't sound like those children in the playground.
they do not sound like children in the playground, but they have a definite raccoon accent.
Oh, okay. All right.
And maybe a couple years ago,
I'm just thinking
um,
how blessed that is that somebody's so nice to their raccoons, giving them a little shelter.
I don't. That's I told that to Kat. I think she mentioned, you know, getting rid of them, and I was like, well, where would they go?
Yeah, little home.
Um, Star Seeker says, "Thank you, Ms.Blipper. Thank you,
Oh,
Star
dears.
Seeker. Star Seeker gave us Sundays, 100 joules.
Oh, wow. Says love to visit Colosseum. Okay. IBCM fan of Colosseum since I saw the movie Gladiator. Yeah, I saw that movie too. The Colosseum, in my personal opinion, used to be kind of a more it used to be free, like it was just an open park that you could go to. Now there's a lot of crowds, a lot of tourism, like they charge money to go in it and whatnot. I used to make jokes about it all the time. Whenever I drive by, I would go, "Oh, look, it's the Lincoln Memorial. Oh, look, it's the Empire State Building." Just to hear the kid go, "No, it's the Coliseum." It used to not be before it was the Coliseum. Nero, the crazy one of many, several crazy emperors. Um, there was a lake where the Coliseum is, and he used to. Um, have boats on the lake with prostitutes doing lascivious acts on the boats, and then he would make all the noble people, all the aristocrats, sit around the lake and watch this. I guess it was like early Roman pornography in a certain sense, but that was Nero. He was not he had a hard. To be fair, Nero had a hard gig in that, if if you're in a situation where you're going to be born and already before you're born, like everybody hates you and wants to, usurp your position, it's not, you kind of get a distorted way of things. But yeah, he, I don't know. I think he killed his mother and a couple of wives
Uh,
too.
Adam is surprised to know. He says, Yogi, surely there's a Lederhosen shop in walking distance.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, there isn't actually. I can be at I can go to a supermarket about a
you know,
2 mile, two
Adam,
mile
you're
walk.
making up. Yeah, Eric is making up a bunch of excuses. All he has to do is like walk across the street to his sister's house and say, "Hey, sis, can you
True.
hook me up with some like winter gear? Red, green, elf, reindeer, red nose, something, festive and Christmas." I'm sure she'd help
Yeah, that would imply family. And in my opinion, nothing ruins Christmas quicker than family.
him.
Let me rephrase that. Nothing ruins Christmas quicker than my family. You know what they say? It's really easy to be enlightened when you're not with your family.
Yeah.
Um, everything changes.
I actually, I mean, historic me was not good with Christmas. Like, I wasn't a happy camper on Christmas. There's too much stress, too much yah. I'm just like, I kind of always kind of wanted to avoid it if possible, not only for family but also for him. I didn't like all the decorations. I didn't like all that stuff. I didn't like all the noise and the caroling and all that kind of. Yeah, I just wanted, like, can't we just chill?
Right.
How I was. So then one year my brother gave me a button and it just said "Happy Birthday, Jesus." That was it.
Hey,
Of
number
course,
one.
it wasn't actually. It comes from Saturnalia, which it's just finishing up now. I believe it ends on the 23rd. Saturnalia was what this time period was to the Romans, and it was kind of interesting. It's like this 10-day period. I think it's from the 17th of December to the 23rd, and they would have a complete role reversal. So all the, men could be women, women could be men, slaves could be kings, kings could be slaves. They just all shifted. It was like a grand identity shift, and I think it kind of uh, mm, there was a lot of merriment and a lot of laughs and a lot of relaxing, that all those assigned roles um, were not so. Were celebrated as not being so, or just being kind of flimsy.
Nice. I like that.
Hmm.
Sipper says the Yule. Tiger King says, Miss Sipper, what you go to Christmas move? What do you mean, Tiger King?
Ms. Blipper, what you go to Christmas move, like movie? I don't know. I don't know what that means either. I'm going to the beach. If weather permitting, if it's like today, I'm going to the beach.
Nice. You got
Yeah.
gonna actually get in the water?
No,
No. Too cold?
I'm just gonna breathe in the air. Ions.
Cool.
Change my ions.
I will be here for all the Christmas
Mm.
orphans.
I'm adopting an orphan. I am a kid from Kazakhstan
Okay.
who is from Kazakhstan, so he doesn't have any family here, and he can't go back to Kazakhstan. So
This is gonna be an official adoption?
no,
No.
no, it's just a Christmas adoption.
Oh, got you. Sipper, what is your go-to movie for Christmas? Is what?
Ah, me? Do I have a go-to movie?
Yeah.
I don't. I don't. Let me think about that for a second. I don't really have it as a tradition totally to watch movies. I know it is a tradition for a lot of people. I guess I would go with Home Alone just for fun.
Nice.
Oh, I haven't seen Home Alone 2 yet, though.
I've never seen Home Alone.
Mm,
Um, I like It's a Wonderful Life,
okay.
although it's officially not really a Christmas movie. And
Mhm,
it had especially the short story was very dark.
mhm,
Um, but I do like it. I'm a big fan of Jimmy Stewart. Um,
mhm. I am
and
too. I am too, yeah.
I never not decades of 60 years of
Mhm,
literally, seeing it. Um, my I still tear up every time.
yeah.
Uh, and I like Rudolph because I love the metaphor of the island of misfit toys, and I use that throughout the year. That here, this little live stream,
You just
uh,
wanna go down in history.
um,
The other
he-
reindeers, they weren't letting me
here's what I love about that island of misfit toys.
Uh,
Um, that when they were when the Herbie the elf, who wanted to really be a dentist, didn't want to make toys, and Rudolph, who was cast away for being different, they stumbled upon this island where no one wanted these toys because they weren't broken, but they didn't do what they were supposed to be doing. I think they had
yeah,
like a Bob in a box instead of a Jack in a box. It was Bob. Um, and Rudolph and his friend promised the toys when they got off the island and they went back and talked to Santa Claus, they would find a home for him. And they didn't say Santa will fix you and find a home for you. They said Santa will find a home for you exactly as you are. And I just
aw,
absolutely love that. Because we're so busy trying to fix other people instead of doing what the course directs, what Jesus directs, uh, seeing each other as sinless, not as broken, but whole.
yeah,
Um, and
wholeness is
I
definitely
love
where
that.
it's at.
Yeah, I love that whole metaphor. So that's why I
Yeah,
always try to
very
mention to people
very
here.
much back to original innocence.
Yes, um, and I love mentioning to people here that come in who you are. I'm not here to fix you. I'm here to love you to the best that I'm capable of.
Yeah.
And the harder it is to love somebody, the better it is for me to make that effort.
Yeah, that makes sense. It does. It really does. Also that, I think one of my favorite lines from the course is like there's a certain kind of recognition that um the the greatest defense against love is like the biggest call for love. No, like you
Right.
got to kind of recognize that that's what it's calling for. Yeah.
Adam thinks that he says, I bet there's a clown store in walking distance and you could get a nose and pretend you're Rudolph. So on my way to the Lederhosen store, I will look around and see if there's possibly a clown store and pick up.
Yeah, I just don't know that like without antlers that like people get the message. They might just think you're a clown.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I don't have to go anywhere. I have an apple. So I'm just going to duct tape an apple to my nose
Hmm.
and then I'll duct tape two wooden spoons to my head. Um, and there you
Or
go.
you just get, put like on a red cap and like sit on the shelf and be elf on the
Could do that.
shelf.
That just cracked you up, didn't it?
I like the imagery, because I see the shelf behind you. There's a shelf right there. He doesn't even have to go very far.
No, just back up. Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I did like A Christmas Carol, I must say, as a story. I liked it. And what's the other one? Scrooge is not bad either. Scrooge is kind of
Yeah,
cool.
Bill Murray, right?
Mhm.
That one.
I don't know. The one I'm thinking about was animated.
Uh,
The one that I'm most familiar with. But yeah, I don't watch movies all the time either. I don't have a TV or a big screen or any of that.
Let's see. Yeah, I generally watch everything on my little computer if I watch anything at all.
That's me. It's me too.
Original Santa is green in color until Coca-Cola made Santa red.
That's what we've been told. Who's saying that? Praveen is saying that.
Praveen is
Yeah.
saying it. Yep.
Yeah. It depends. Some people are, there's a bunch of colors in there because there was blue Santa too. We had to talk about that one evening. There was green Santa, red Santa, and blue Santa.
Cool. Sniper says that Bill Murray Scrooge is one of my favorite. I love that movie. I actually saw that in the theater way back in the day, 1980 something. Maybe it was 90, early 90s.
I do love the movie Elf. There you go. Elf on the Shelf. It is.
Never seen. I've never seen the whole movie Elf. I don't even know. Man, last time I've been in the theater was years and years and years ago.
I mean, if you could do that, if you could just wear a red cap and be in work for Santa Claus, being an elf on the shelf, would you do it? Would you dig? Would you dig it up?
Almost positive I don't have a red hat. I did. I did have one that looked very. I
I bet your
actually have a
sister. I bet your sister has one.
probably. She's all the way across the street though. It would take me minutes to get there. That would be exhausting. Cypher says try stapling the antlers next time.
Try
Stapling
stapling.
it would probably hurt less than pulling duct tape off of the head.
No, stapling would hurt more.
You think so?
I'm afraid. Yeah, but you could do some. You could hook up because women they wear those bands, like hair bands. You could do hair bands out of coat hangers and do it that way.
I might have an old bandana left from my backpacking Grateful Dead days. You had to have if you're going to be a true deadhead, you had to have a bandana.
Bandanas are useful on the road.
Yeah.
Do you think you have a red one though? Green, maybe.
You sound so hopeful. All right. Well, we're going to have to wrap things up in a minute. This was a
All right.
fun Christmas show.
Holy instant to everybody. I'm giving you all holy instants, you guys. No past, no future.
Ring your bell. I'll ring my bell.
All
Holy
right.
instant
On the
for
count of
Christmas.
3. 1, 2, 3.
I like
Love
it.
you all. Have a good one.
Love you guys. I'll be back 5:25 singing with Nature's Dog Realm tonight.
Perfect.
Come on by, hang out. Take care.
See ya. Bye.